Hello, thanks for clicking on our video. Today we will be reviewing set number 75331, the UCS Razor Crest. This set was released in October 2022 and has 6,187 pieces. This is an 18+ set and made for display and not for playing with. So, first of all, the set is 72 centimeters long and 24 centimeters tall, 50 centimeters wide. Most of the sections of the ship are removable, most of the top included, including the engine block and the two pieces next to it. And removing these allows access to the interior, which has many other features inside. We have a weapons cabinet, if we look here, which has some guns in it. On the top it has a plated sticker tile with a picture of Baby Yoda's head and it says "Baby on board" in Aurebesh, which is the language in the Star Wars universe. There is a carbonite freezing chamber that can fit one minifigure inside it, along with two stickered minifigures frozen in carbonite. We have a Rhodian and a normal person. You can also remove this back panel of the ship. This is a rather fragile panel. It's one of my least favourite parts about the ship. And that just opens up more of the interior here that doesn't show a lot. Also in the interior we have crates which contain thermal detonators. They are printed. And although you can't see it from here, Boba Fett's armour is on a rack in the ship. We have his jetpack and his helmet. And you can remove the cockpit piece here, so you gain access to the interior of the cockpit, which has this removable area here, which you can open the door, and there is a place for Baby Yoda to go there. If we look inside after we have removed that, we can see that we can remove the Mandalorian's bed to have a look at some wiring underneath. Also in this area there are two doors, one on either side. They're rather tricky to remove, very well hidden. There's one on either side here, with a spinning captain's chair here. Moving towards the back end of the ship, there is another ramp which you can remove, push down like so, to gain access to more of the interior. Let's just close those back up. See, as you can see, it is very well hidden. To put the Mandalorian's bed back in, we angle it correctly. Put it in like that. Put the cockpit back in. And then we put this back on. Now we're going to take a look at the ship all put back together, so just bear with me. There's a way that it is easier to put together, and this bit has just broken. As I said, it is very fragile. The connector piece goes here, and then we can take this and it should just slot in, not much effort required. Oh, sorry about that. I slot this one in. Then the engines. The engines are the heaviest part of the ship. They took about 11 packs to build, so they're quite large. Just leave the interior there for now. So this is the entirety of the ship. The view from the front here, move that pop out of the way. You can see it has two guns. They're the only guns on the ship, and two very large engines here, which have these very cool chain links for detailing around the front and the back. And actually, something that was not featured in the show of the Mandalorian was this escape pod, which you can remove and show a minifigure in front of, which is quite cool. That just slots neatly in the middle there, covering the hole. It does not come with a stand, but instead it uses its landing gear as a stand. That does not retract, sadly, but it is meant for display, not for playing. As you can tell, it is very heavy, and the engine block is not actually held on. It is just slotted between, and neither is this. These little studs here, the only thing keeping this from sliding off the end. There. It's accurate model, but different colouring to the actual ship in the Mandalorian. It's a lot lighter grey. The one in the Mandalorian is a gunmetal grey, really, but they would have had to recolour a lot of pieces for it to be that colour, so I understand why it is this colour. Unfortunately, it does include stickers, which is one of my larger problems with the set. To continue this yellowing stripes here, they do use two stickers here, one there, two there, and the same on the other side. And obviously we do have that sticker there, baby on board sticker, and the carbonite stickers. We also have the sticker on the plaque, which hopefully will be the last UCS set with a stickered plaque. It also, on one of my problems with the set, has a sticker in the middle of these two printed pieces on this piece here, which I do not like the inclusion of. I feel they could have done this better, as it creates doesn't fit with the other pieces. I don't know really why they made it like that. Maybe it was so that you could flip it up and access the captain's chair without having to remove it, but you can't really fit a minifigure through there. Well, no, you can't, so I'm not really sure why that's like that. Oh, I dropped them in there. So I'm not sure why it was made like that, but I'm not a fan of that. So we put that to one side. Now we're going to take a look at the minifigures now. It comes with 4 minifigures and 1 buildable character, so we'll take a look at that first. The buildable character is the Blurg, as we see in the show, written by Queel. It's nicely detailed, about the same size as you'd expect of a microfighter. Has little T-Rex arms there and a slightly movable head, but not really, and a slightly posable tail, but again, very limited in terms of how you can pose it. The legs do not move at all, neither does the jaw, even though it has this ratchet joint piece here, so that does make me wonder why. And we have Queel here though. Queel's probably one of my favourite minifigures in here, because he has a specially moulded head, dual moulded, and he has torso printing on the front and the back. The back is obscured by his backpack piece. He has the smaller legs, so he doesn't really have as much posability as other minifigures, and he comes with this wrench tool accessory, and he can be slotted into the Blurg to be put on the display stand. Next we have the Mithril from the first episode. He does not have a specially moulded head, which is a shame, because it would have been very good, but he does have a dual-sided head to show off his printing. He has no printing on his legs, only on his torso and the back. No arm printing, so not the best minifigure. I feel they could have done a bit better with him, but he comes with these handcuffs accessories. Moving on to Baby Yoda, it's the same Baby Yoda we always get but the first brick-built cradle for him actually, which is quite cool. So he can go slot back in there. And then obviously the main minifigure that we care about is the Mandalorian, aka Din Djarin. He's been updated. He's the same as he is in some of the other sets, but he has updated arm printing and an updated helmet. So he has arm printing, torso printing, leg printing, back printing as well, but that is obscured by his cape. So all in all, I think a pretty good minifigure selection, but it could have been better, I feel, with maybe a few more minifigures or some better minifigures in general. Then obviously we have the display stand, which comes with an information plaque.
The Razor Crest model ST-70 assault ship, class gunship, length 24.3 metres, weapons 2 forward mounting repeated heavy laser cannons, which are very nicely built here. I feel they're very detailed for what they are. They're quite large, quite long, one on each side. They are the only weapons. Obviously designed by Dinjarin. So that is basically it for the set, but I'm going to share some of my personal thoughts on what I think they did very well. Yeah, I think they tiled it off very well. There's not many open studs, which you normally see a lot on these big grey ships, but especially on the sides, it's very nicely tiled off. On the engines, there's not many tiles showing at all. It was a very fun build to do, actually, as you saw it come shape. When you built the first box, because there were 2 boxes in the packaging, you had already built the main body of the ship, so I thought, oh, I must be nearly done. No, these engines, as I've said before, took a rather long time to make. As you can see, they're incredibly large, and the back bits of the engines here, I think were made very well. You had to make 12 identical pieces on each side, so 24 in total, and arrange them, try and get them as symmetrical as possible.